Hi everyone, how are you? We're gonna do now a mid-level exercise of plotting points in a function. So in this case, they're going to again give us a series of plot points. In this case, f of 0, f of 3/4, f of minus x, f of 1 over x. And then we're going to have a tricky one, a little bit of a different plot point there, 1 over f of x. And here's the function. If f of x is square root of 1 plus x squared. All of this inside the square root. So we're going to have to find all those plot points, just like we did in the exercise number 4 before. It's going to be the same absolute thing. All we have to do is substitute each one of these values inside the x. Replace each one of them and operate accordingly. And of course, simplify, which is very important. Okay, it's not just putting the value in and just leaving it as it is. Okay, no, we have to operate, subtract, potentiate, power, multiply, whatever we have to do, and then simplify. So let's start with the simple first one, f of 0. We're going to have square root of 1 plus 0 squared. That is, again, replacing whatever it is in the plot point in the x. 0 square is 0 because 0 times 0 is 0. And we're going to leave with square of 1, which is 1. And a little bit of a notice here. You can make a case that is plus minus 1, because that's square root of value. But in a further video, we'll explain why we normally keep the positive solution. Normally it's because of function, okay? Now we're going to do f of 3/4. And again, it's going to be square root of 1 plus, replacing 3/4 inside the x. So we're going to have 3/4 parenthesis square inside the square root. Now, I want to show you something that is helpful, okay, for these square functions. We can put a minus right here in the 3/4, minus 3/4 squared. And it's going to be the same thing because remember, minus times minus is plus, or minus times square is plus. Okay, the negative sign is not going to affect when we have an even potentiation or powered function. So in this case, we're going to have square root of 1 plus square of minus 3/4 is going to be 9/16 because it's 3 times 3, 9, and 4 times 4, 16. Okay, as you can see, the minus doesn't affect. We would have had positive 3/4 and it would have been the same thing, okay, because it's a square function. So we're going to operate this, make it a little bit simple. And here we have to do the tricky part, the simplification, okay? And what I'm doing right now is just rearranging the 1 into a more familiar expression. 1 is the same thing as 16 sixteenths. Why? Because 16 divided by 16 is 1, okay? So I want to operate the addition of the fractions in a way that is helpful to me, and that way I can simplify the entire expression, okay? Same denominator at the bottom, so we add the numerator. 16 plus 9 is going to be 25/16. Why? Well, because if you correctly recall properties of fractions, when we have a over c plus b over c, it's the same thing as if we had a plus b over c. That is a property of addition of fractions with the same denominator. Okay, so that's what we applied right here. We rearranged 1, and we expressed it as 16/16 and added the numerator since we have the common denominator. Okay, now we do the square root of 25/16, and again we're going to do another property. We're going to divide the square root. Why? Because it's the same property. Square root of 25 is 5, square root of 16 is 4. Where did this come from, you may ask? Because the square root of a divided by b is the same thing as square root of a divided by square root of b. So it's important for you to memorize and get familiar with these properties. These are the ones that are helpful for you to find a solution, which we can also rewrite as 4 1/4. Okay, 5/4 is the same thing as 4 1/4. Okay, now let's go to do the third one. F of minus x. And here is where I'm going to show you that the minus, when we have even power, just replacing whatever we have in the x and the function is going to be the same thing. Just like we did before. Okay, just like we did before, we just have to replace the minus x inside the x squared of the function. So square root of 1 plus minus x power to square. Okay, again, the minus is right here. We could just leave it or get rid of it, whatever, just replacing the minus x inside the expression. Okay, it's just the same absolute thing as we did before. So solving that, we're going to have square root of 1 plus minus times minus is plus, so a positive sign, and x squared is x squared, x times x. And there we go. Here's the solution for exercise. Okay, the other two we're going to do in another video separately. See you then.